this letter, this Pope letter or whatever, is explaining that he's basically telling, as we've spoken before, it's basically telling Barack Obama that he's not, or telling the public or his people that Barack Obama is not the power that we think he is, and certain people have to step down. I mean, Boner, whatever his name is, he stepped down, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What has come out is that it's been said that the Pope is the one who has to fix things. I mean, because he's the one who has all the power and the money and control, or let's say the Vatican. How true is all of that stuff?
It's a lot of corporate rhetoric to try and justify the existence of the Vatican as the middleman. Okay, and bottom line is, the Vatican has been doing a lot of hypocritical and bigoted backpedaling by trying to tell Christians that it's okay to believe in aliens and UFOs.
Yeah.
Okay, and that it's not sinful to do so. They are not the work of the devil. Well, of course, because you're trying to open up the gateway towards getting your believers to accept the Greys as their true masters.
Yeah.
And if that's who you're taking your marching orders from, then, I have no respect for the Pope. I think he's a scumbag. I really do. He's not a holy man. Okay? He is not, I have just as many issues with the Dalai Lama as well for hiding out in California. But, no, I'll target the Pope first as being the main culprit here. He's a politician. He knows what the hell he's doing. He's a real estate owner. Okay.
He's a Jesuit, isn't he? And the Jesuit is the army wing of the Vatican.
All right. And
military.
So there's this, the more all you're really seeing here is the advent of a scared animal that's been backed into a corner. That's all you're seeing here.
Yeah, but who's backed him there, and what is backing him up? I mean, the whole thing is crumbling. We all know that.
Well, because when you realize that you've been backing a dead horse at the racetrack, and you're the one whose head is going to be in the noose when the people realize who the true enemy is, okay?
So he's not a holy man. He could be a man full of holes.
Yes. Right. So, think about it. This is the same institution that invented the idea of camouflaging prostitution in the form of a nunnery.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, let's take these lost women, dress them up and sterilize them in the form of a nun, and then we'll use them as our own prostitutes when we, because we've already fostered this asinine idea that we're not allowed to get married because, once again, of real estate laws.
Yeah.
The half of the church that's Roman Catholic was getting pissed off at the other half that's Greek Orthodox, because Greek Orthodox and the rest of them, they were all able to get married and have wives. Those wives were inheriting the property when the priest died, the Vatican was getting. All these men are married to a virgin, and in order for them all to be married, she must be a whore, but you're calling her a virgin.
Yeah.
So once again, everybody bought into it, and of course the idea is, well, no, it's just a spiritual thing. Spiritual, my ass. Because if it ever came to light that Mary was 7 shades darker and she's not this ivory white pristine virgin that the Chateau regime has turned her into, you'd see real fast how many of these priests are going to reject the idea of being married to a black woman.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and that's how you know that whole situation in Fatima is a complete joke.
Yeah.
Because there's not one aspect of Fatima that can't be included into ufology, effectively.
Right.
The evidence is quite clear that the 3 children were manipulated by the church to frame it as a white Virgin Mary, and yet the revealing dialogue is between the mother and the eldest child, Lucia.
Right.
Okay, the oldest daughter. There was a piece of dialogue that the church swept under the rug.
Mm.
And in that dialogue between mother and daughter, the mother goes to Lucia and says, you know, your cousin tells me you saw Our Lady, which is a reference to Virgin Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Lucia says, no, Jacinta is wrong. She should have kept her mouth shut. She never should have said that. I never said we saw Our Lady. I said we saw a little white lady hovering over a tree at the bottom of a silver disc.
Right. Right.
Okay, yeah, that's damning evidence right there.
Mm.
Everybody saw a silver disc come down from the sky. In other words, a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There is nothing, you know, and on top of that, think about this. The only reason that, first of all, a little factoid that most Christians don't realize, the church has always vehemently hated Marian apparitions with a passion. Because these Marian apparitions were UFO experiences, and it was really pushing their buttons in the Chateau regime because too much was being exposed. So eventually the church had its back against the wall, and they ended up assimilating Marian apparitions into their own propaganda.
Right.
And as such, you know, the Virgin Mary is depicted as being this white, pale-skinned woman.
Right.
Okay? Well, the fact of the matter is, this is how you know someone's lying.
Yeah.
Because even at a certain point when Lucia was brought to the church, okay, it was either Lucia or Jacinta, they see a statue of what was supposed to be the Virgin Mary, and of course she's got these ridiculous Caucasian features. And she pointed, and they asked her, she said, is this the woman you saw in the experience at the Visions of Fatima? And she said flat out, no, that's not her. So the Visions of Fatima have been manipulated and destroyed by the church propaganda to gear it towards this provincial mentality of biblical visions, which is totally off base because it was all a UFO experience.
Right. The other thing about the church, though, I want to say is when I went to Rome many years ago, I mean these nuns or whatever, but when I went to Rome many years ago, I remember there being a whole line of these women who were for sale right near the Vatican, not far. And we were driving past, and I said to a friend of mine, "Oh, wow! I didn't, look at that." And she said to me, "Well," I said, "Look at all these women." He said, "No, they're not women. They are men." Right.
Oh, wow.
So that tells you a lot about El Vaticano.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I did. I shook my head. I went like that. Same kind of breath. I was like, okay. Now, can you imagine?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like 10 or 20. A whole line of them. Tall. Wow. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I would have needed a stiff drink after that. So.
Well, I'm into rum, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I had I was like, that can't be. I think it was about 18 at the time. Yeah, 18 at the time. Yeah, it's a long time ago. So they probably cleaned that street up.
Okay.
They cleaned that street up, but that's what I was told and saw. The Vatican's. I went to the Vatican door. I didn't go in. I had a feeling that something was not quite. I thought, I better not go in there. That's far too holy for me. That's what I thought. Never been there. Been to Rome several times. Never went through the gates. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's another dimension. Almost.
Yeah. I don't think they would probably see me coming from a mile away and block me from walking through. So,
so you wouldn't get through the gates either.
No, the walls would start bleeding, and that would tell them I'm coming. So. So.
Wow, we got to get you a ticket to Europe.